So for the next presentation, Jerónimo Prieto and Ana Lagos from 2005 and 2006.
Thanks.
At the council, we've been trying to get them for 3 years since the first event. We really love their project. They were studying their MBA at Kellogg, which is why they couldn't come. And just 2 months ago, they had their first daughter, Eva. And they're here with us, so we're very, very grateful. You've got, obviously, important things going on at home, so thank you for joining us. Jero works in real estate at the Escuela Bancaria Comercial, and Ana works in digital banking at Monex. But this passion project that Jero started and Ana has been a very important part of has really, really, really taken off. I don't want to steal their thunder. I'll let them tell you about it. But we're very happy that they're here.
I think our slide is not up. There we go. Thank you. Has anyone here ever received a spam email offering you free prizes, a cruise to the Caribbean, or thousands of dollars? Please raise your hand. Wow. So let me tell you about a special kind of email I received several years ago. A supposed French company offered me $15,000 for my website domain, pelagiclife.com. This was when $15,000 was my yearly income, and Pelagic Life was nothing more than a lonely website with 3 amateur underwater videos. I was really excited. Turned out that I went against my ASF critical thinking skills, and I believed something that was too good to be true. I never received a penny. Turned out the French company was my fellow school instructor and cousin, Lalo. Lalo was the first person to join me in this crusade, and this email hoax was his funny way of telling me he wanted to be a part of it. Together, we formed a group of several individuals with varying professions: lawyers, consultants, entrepreneurs, producers, all with one thing in common: a deep passion towards the ocean. For 5 years, during our spare time, we explored and documented the Mexican Ocean, and this is what we found.
So during our exploration, we found this amazing and unique marine wildlife phenomenon. So what you saw in this video is what we refer to and call pelagic life. Unfortunately, we also found an alarming reality that threatens this very fragile ecosystem. But before we go into the specifics of what happens in Mexico, let me tell you a little bit about what goes on globally in our oceans. Every year, global fisheries extract 90 million metric tons of wildlife from our oceans. This number is equivalent to the population of China in terms of biomass. So imagine, every year we are extracting the Chinese population from our oceans. In order to make this happen, fisheries use super trawlers that have these very big nets that fit about 13 jumbo jets into them. And they use these in order to find and extract and process this seafood. And they do it with military precision. But in order to make this profitable, governments worldwide have to inject around $16 billion in subsidies. In only 55 years, humans have managed to wipe out 90% of the ocean's top predators. In a nutshell, we are rapidly decimating the last wilderness frontier on Earth, the open ocean. This is a massive and overwhelming problem. And we at Pelagic Life have the philosophy that in order to start solving this problem, we must attack it locally and one step at a time.
First, let's look at supply, fishing. 2011, we discovered a crude shark fishing operation in Bahía Magdalena, a small town in Baja California. It took us 2 years to win the trust of Eric, the shark fisherman portrayed in this photograph. And we won him over by doing something crazy. We offered Eric to buy any free shark that was still hooked in his lines. On average, we paid 200 pesos per shark. And in return, we jumped in the water and freed the sharks with our bare hands. We managed to free 37 sharks. And although we knew this was not a permanent solution, it was the building blocks to test our hypotheses. How do we protect the sharks and the local community? We needed to find an alternative income for the shark fishermen that was higher and safer. We had heard that tourism was a solution, and we had seen it in other places in Mexico, and we thought that Bahía Magdalena could work. 2013, we received a grant from Semarnat with the purpose of finding out if and how shark fishing could be replaced with tourism. After a year-long study and with positive results, we decided to put the theory to test. 2015, we were able to take 48 tourists that were paying around 10,000 pesos. This resulted in about 500,000 pesos that stayed in the local community. Today, the sharks are worth more alive than dead. And now the shark fishermen are looking for us to help them take advantage of this opportunity. The pre-season hasn't even started, and we already have 42 tourists signed up. We believe, we believe tourism will slowly replace shark fishing in Bahía Magdalena. But let's be realistic. 50, 100, or 200 sharks in one small location in Baja California isn't going to change the fate of sharks nationally. That is why we're actively looking for new areas in Mexico to replicate the Bahía Magdalena model. In addition, we're promoting 31 operators in 16 different locations in Mexico, all that are focused on sustainable tourism with sharks, marlins, sailfish, mantas, and even crocodiles. We even produced a documentary film to create awareness and promote these locations. So, replace overfishing with tourism to make the species be worth more alive. But this is only a couple thousand enthusiasts each year, and this is not going to change the fate of our oceans.
We have to look at the other side of the story. Now let's look at the demand side, consumption. By 2050, there will be more plastic than fish in our oceans. Why should we care about this? What happens is that fish are consuming these toxins and plastics that we are throwing into our oceans. The top predatory fish, such as the ones that are at the top of the food chain, such as shark, marlin, bluefin tuna, they are the ones that are accumulating all of these toxins into their body, and that's what we end up eating. This slide shows the amount of mercury that certain species of fish that we eat have concentrated in their bodies. And as you can notice, the large predators that not only have the largest amount of mercury concentration in their bodies, but they are also the ones that take the longest to reproduce and have the highest likelihood of being worth more alive than dead through ecotourism, such as the story that we just heard about the sharks. So how do we prevent this unsustainable consumption of seafood that is also damaging to our health? We create the first mobile app tailored to Mexican species, with local names and with local information on fishing catches and practices. Our mobile seafood app is scheduled to launch this year, and hopefully it will empower us to consume in a more sustainable and healthier way. We plan to launch, thank you. We plan to launch this app in collaboration with government agencies, other nonprofits, chefs, restaurants, and other seafood providers who are willing to offer healthier, tastier, and more sustainable seafood. So even if you don't like being in the ocean, there is always a way in which you can contribute to protect the marine wildlife in Mexico. And that is simply by being aware of what you eat and making the responsible choice.
Today, Ana and myself spend most of our time taking care of our 2-month-old daughter, Eva. This year, we finished an MBA, and Ana worked in digital banking. I'm geared towards real estate and higher education. So personally, we don't believe you have to drop your personal or professional life to create an impact in your community. For me, changing lanes was about believing in the potential of a fake email my jealous cousin sent me many years ago. Didn't seem like much at the time, but with passion and diligent work, we were able to do something. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can tell why we love the project. Truly a passion project that turned into an award-winning documentary. I mean, Jero mentioned it briefly, but there's a lot of people besides Jero and Ana as well, people in this room who actually made that happen. That documentary is on Netflix. You guys can check it out anytime you want. Mexico, Pelágico. It's really good. I mean, Jero's a humble guy. He got recognized by the San Francisco International Ocean Film Festival as Best Director. He won an award for that, so don't take it from me. Ana was invited to give a TEDx talk about this back in 2013. The project was gaining traction, but it's scaled to the point where it's a fully run NGO. Jerónimo Prieto, are you here? Yeah, Jero is the director of the NGO, so also an alum, ASF. And it's just amazing how a passion project can actually transform the economy of a local community, promote saving the marine wildlife of Mexico. So we're really proud. Thank you, guys.